Howdy neighbors, here I am. How is everybody doing today? Yay, I made it. I am very happy about this fact. I'm glad to see you guys wherever you are, whenever you're watching. May not be right now when I'm live, or it could very well be later. Hey, you know, either way is good. Love you either way. So, thanks so much for showing up and supporting my channel. We really appreciate it. Oh, if you do happen to show up live, you could always, and really love the channel, you could always give me a super sticker or super chat, as works down below. Hello AJ, good to see ya. Welcome to the house. Yes, I am just about to do my topic of the day, which is doing some shoutouts for some people, and also talking a little bit about herb planting. What else? You know, what else would I talk about on this channel? Herb planting. Woo! So, yeah. How's everybody doing today? Hello, GLG. How we doing? You having a good day? Chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. I'm just waiting to see everybody show up here. It says I got like 5 people already watching, which is cool. Howdy, my 5 friends. I'm sure some more people will show up soon too, but yeah, it's regarding a couple things. Like, first off, my health. I am getting better, I think, but I also have had the problem of I'm basically still have like a small chest infection. They gave me some like penicillin and stuff to hopefully get rid of it. It's just taking its time working itself out. So yeah, thanks for asking. And hopefully soon it'll be completely out of my system. It's like overall energy wise I'm feeling a little bit better, but it's just yeah, it's still making me cough like crazy, and getting a little bit tired still, I think, because of it. But yeah, it's just annoying, you know? I want to be healthy, and I want to get back to my full energy. So, I did manage to record my next video, which will be coming out next week, and hopefully, that will, you know, be on Tuesday? Should be on Tuesday. I was looking at possibly changing the schedule again, because YouTube, you know, they say keep a schedule, but then it's like telling me, oh, your primary time to actually be releasing should be on Sunday nights. And it's like, well, but I've been keeping the schedule of releasing on Tuesdays for my videos and doing my live streams on Thursdays. Should I change that? But then again, it's, you know, I guess it's just being consistent is the most important thing, so I should probably just stick with my release on videos on Tuesdays and then alternating with doing my live streams on Thursdays. So it's good to see so many people here. So yeah, let's talk some herbs, baby. Let's talk some herbs. Oh my gosh, herbs. There are so many different herbs that you can actually do when it comes to planting. But I'm thinking the word. I'm thinking like what I'm thinking of is perennials. There's a lot more perennial herbs out there than you think, is what I was meaning. What I want to say. Obviously, there's the big ones like rosemary, lavender. Everybody knows those are perennials. But did you know oregano is also a possible perennial? I actually have an oregano that I've kept over the winter downstairs. It's looking a little bit ugly right now, but that's because it's still winter time, but it's still doing good. It's still here. Marjoram, I have a marjoram outside still. Thyme, of course, is another one of the big ones. Tarragon, I've got a perennial tarragon that I'm working with right now. So that's cool. But yeah, there's tons of different ones that you can do. Sage, of course, is a well-known, and mint, very much a well-known perennial. Parsley is another one that you can actually do as a perennial. It's more than one that you would normally see people do seeds with. And I think it's also because people that's very similar to cilantro, coriander, that people think it won't last, but it seeds itself, really, if you just leave it out there. And cilantro really can do the same thing. If you leave it out, it could actually seed itself. I think they're both a little bit on that lower end spectrum, that they don't work quite as well as perennials. They're a little bit harder that way. But it is possible that you can use them like that. Lemon balm is another one. Lemon bulb is another one that actually can go from year to year. Chives, I normally would think of just cutting chives off and just using them and starting them each and every year, but apparently you can actually do chives as a perennial as well. So very interesting. Some of the ones that that you come across that you're like, oh, I guess I've totally forgot that was a perennial. And let me know if you know some of these guys in the comments, if you had forgotten they were perennials, or you knew they were perennials already. So what are some of the perennials you guys know about already? Let me know in the comments which ones are the perennials you guys already know about. Let's actually look at the comments, see if what anybody's saying here. GLG says, sounds like he got long COVID issues. I don't know, it could possibly be. I sure hope not. I'm hoping it's more just a secondary chest infection, which is what they said they thought it was. So we'll see what is going on. But Simba has been growing and he is very healthy. Oh, yay, Simba's doing well. Thank you so much for the healthy thoughts. GLG says she's got a Greek oregano at her other house, and cilantro doesn't overwinter in Northern Virginia. Yeah, it's a matter of where you're at as well as to whether it'll overwinter or not. Yeah. Rex George says there's wild chives around him, so that proves right there. Chives. Ba-boom. Yeah. Gotta do the chives. Spearmint, of course. Yep. All the mints. Well, all those big mints. Lemon balm is in the mint family as well, which is why it's no surprise that it actually is a perennial. So yeah, all those guys definitely count. Excuse me, there's the cough. A couple of lesser known ones are things like sorrel, yarrow, chicory can go from year to year. Rue, winter savory. Bay laurel, which I've talked about on the channel. It's one of my biggest videos right now. If you haven't seen it yet, the benefits of bay tea. Lovage is another one. Hyssop, I also have a perennial hyssop sitting outside that I have as well. Sweet Cicely or anise, that's another one that can go from year to year. Yeah, gotta get that water in me. Chamomile is actually one that can go from year to year. I, thought initially, I was in one of those ones before looking it up that I was like going, oh, I'll just replant my chamomile. And then I was like, no, I can actually just keep it. So I got one inside and one outside. And we'll see how they do this year as far as regrowing and everything. So very excited about how that's going to go. Bergamot, I have a catnip as well. Echinacea, it's one I've been thinking about trying, because the Echinacea has so many good benefits for you. Valerian, another big time medicinal herb. You can actually be perennial. Marshmallow, tansy, and willow herb. And then there's also things like meadowsweet, alfalfa, clover. Yeah, so many different ones that can go as from year to year. And I'm just, it's I'm knocking down this list. It's like, yeah, so many great ones. So many great ones that I loved seeing that they go year to year. But as far as growing, let me bring up the final tally here, because I said I'd announce the actual results of the poll I did. If you voted on the poll, hopefully you did. Let's see what we got in the community tab poll that I did on... Go to community tab. Go to the community tab. Come on, buddy. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. So we had a bunch of people voted on the community tab. Howdy. Hope that's not too loud. Which is, do you get scared about planting in the spring? Apparently most of you people are very brave and you're like, yeah, bring on the seeds. 70% of the people said yes. Just bring on the seeds. Let's plant. And then it was split 3 ways between, neither here nor there. It's a bit freaky, but I can handle it. And then, planting, no! The talking is getting me. Look out. Yeah, I'm healthy. I am perfectly healthy. I'm fine. Love you guys. Aye. Oh my gosh. Howdy. Oh, that's tough. We'll see you later, AJ. Enjoy your day. Husky and Wolf Dog has thyme in their garden. I was wanting to do a perennial rosemary in the front garden, but I didn't realize when I first moved in here about a year ago that, a little over a year ago now, that they actually had several different perennials planted in the front garden. So it's like there was no room unless I dug all those up for my rosemary to go in there. I was like, darn it, I wanted to grow a huge rosemary bush, so I may have to just try and see if I can get one going in a big planter or something back in the back. There's one they left here, but it hasn't really grown in the last year, so, and I even have tried cutting it back, so I'm just like, I'm a little bit doubtful about its ability to continue growing. I might try and see if I can foster it a little bit this upcoming year, but we will see. That's but yeah, I definitely, it's something I've always wanted at a house that I'm at, is to have a big rosemary bush, a big thyme bush, you know, a couple of those perennials that just grow from year to year. I'd love to have a big sage bush. We use mint all the time, so I always grow mint. I've got a couple of mints in the back, and I'm need to get some new seeds. I told some of you guys, but yeah, there's a rat who I think I'm going to have to attack and kill. I might try and see if I can just get a trap and relocate him somewhere completely different, because he has been decimating my seeds. He went into my shed and he's eaten a whole bunch of the bird seeds, and he's eaten a whole bunch of my planting seeds now. So I now need to go invest in a proper cabinet or something if I'm going to keep the seeds outside, for them to be fully protected. A locking cabinet, something like that. That's the only way it's going to be safe. But other than that, this rat has terrorized my shed. I tried doing some natural methods to keep him away, like putting various spices out there to like mess with his senses, because they say like they're very sensitive. Of course, they're very sensitive to smell, but apparently he's like, psh, cayenne, cloves. Pff, I'm a tough rat. I can handle all this stuff. Pepper, I don't care. Yeah, so all these things they say can keep him away, he just hasn't. I got to try some other things, or I just got to be like, no, I'm going to trap this guy and just get him out of here, because he's been terrorizing my poor little shed setup. I have next to no seeds left for the wonderful birds at the moment, and I got to get some more. So, oh, GLG also has a chocolate mint plant that's lasted several years now. I've got one that's like 3 years old now that's outside as well, and really looking forward to using that one again, because I actually, it's one of those things that I get too caught up in, where I'm like, I'm just enjoy looking at the herbs, and I'll use some off of them, but then I don't use enough, you know? If you guys have that problem where you're just like going, oh, I should harvest this, but it looks so great right now, and it's like, no, cut back more, use it or lose it. So yeah, I have a couple different herbs that I just haven't actually cut off, that I need to be a little bit stronger and be like, no, use them, because I want to use that mint, and I want to use that sage and all those wonderful herbs I have out there. I need to put them to use, and they make some great teas when I use them. And I can also use them in foods, especially the cilantro. And I've done that a couple times where I've grown cilantro, and it's like, I use cilantro pretty much every week in my food. Why don't I just use my fresh stuff? Yeah, I think I'm just a little too sparing with that. So, Husky and Wolf Dog, it might be the rat from Ratatouille. Yeah, I hear you, definitely. But all right, let's do a shout out while I'm sitting here suffering my way through this show. Let me bring up my screen here properly so I have the shout out person ready to go, because that is what you need to see if I'm going to shout this person out. So the first person I'm going to shout out, very important, because they're the one who basically reminded me that shout-outs are important. It's important to give you guys recognition and the love you deserve. So I am going to bring his channel up if I keep not clicking the wrong buttons. Woo! There we go. There it is. Okay, we got it now. I think I got it now. Here he is. If I can hit the button to expand him. For some reason it doesn't want to let me click on the expansion button. Keeps like flashing on and off. Don't you hate that when it does that? Quit flashing on and off. Grab it. Grab the thing. It's supposed to get bigger. Okay, I guess it's not going to happen. So let's just do it as it is. Here we go. Kaboom. This is Essayons Family Garden. Yay! My first shout out of the day. Essayons Family Garden. Rob, the Sapper Gardener. He is awesome. And he's been doing shout outs. And he like just convinced me. It's like, yeah, we got to keep, you know, he had this recent video here. Let's grow together. Self-promotion, creator mindset. And he said how he has a hard time self-promoting himself. So I'm doing a little promotion for him. Go check out Rob. Say I sent you. Give him some love. He deserves it. He's got a great, huge back garden set up. I would kill to have his back garden set up. It is massive. But he's got so many great videos that you see on the screen right now. He's been posting for a while now. Several years. Woo! Tons of videos. But he talks about the foods that he eats. He talks about how he's got some new chickens. He talks about all the things he's harvesting. He's got blueberries and burdock. A bunch of fruit trees actually he's got now. But which, you know, I'm in love with, of course. But he does garden tours and talks about all different kinds of things about his gardening. And of course he shares seeds with other people, and people share seeds and different things with him, so he does mail calls every now and then. But go check him out. He is so awesome. I just love him to death. That is Rob the Sapper Garden from Essayons Family Garden. First shout out of the day. Ooh, good timing with the music there. All right. Brilliant. Woohoo. There you go. Essayons Family Garden. Go say hi after you are done hanging out with me, because they are awesome. And then we're going to do another video in a minute. First, we're going to talk about more herb stuff. So, now I'm forgetting where I had left off when I was talking about the herbs. What was I talking about before I left? Actually, I got to pull the channel master and put it on the screen here so I can know where I'm at when I'm before I don't have to flip through too many screens. There we go. So now I got my comment screen. Okay. Love Surf Bunny says, sorry you're not recovered. Yeah, it has been almost a month now since I've been dealing with this, so it is definitely been hanging on. Bintay Saeed Vlogs says they've got a bunch of different things. Very nice. Cool. They suggest I use honey and warm water as well. Yeah. Okay, we got some Vicks as well. I tried doing some Vicks earlier and that seemed to help for a little while. But I should do a few more herbs. I got them. I got to use them. Right on. Oh, that's something else I should do, right? Let me bring that back up really quick. I'm going to put the link in the description here so you guys have it, okay? Very important. If I'm going to shout a place out, I should put it in. Boom! There you go. There is the Essayons Family Garden in the comments. I also included, if you're watching later, in the actual description below. So there you go. Essayons Family Garden. Check them out. See you soon, Husky and Wolf Dog. Thanks for dropping by. Let's do another shout out. And then we can talk some more herbs. How's that sound? Kaboom. Next one It's a channel that's been giving me lots of love, and she like not only like comments on my videos, Mommy and Kimberly's Adventures. She is fantastic. She will like leave 5 comments on one of my videos, and it's like going, yeah, I can tell you've watched it. Nobody else does it like she does. She is so fantastic. So thank you, Kimberly and Mommy, and all you guys over there at Mommy and Kimberly's Adventures. But she tends to do like different little product reviews, some live stream chats these days. She does shopping haul reviews, or she'll do like live walkthroughs of a store. And so you can see all of her videos here. She's got lots of different little hauls that she does from different things. I've tried doing it in the past where like I'll bring up a singular video, but I know that doesn't work very well because it always gives my server trouble when I try and do that, because for whatever reason it just doesn't like the bandwidth, I guess. But there you go. That's Mommy and Kimberly's Adventures. Give her a check, give her a shout, and say I said hi. I am giving her the love. And Kimberly's Adventures. Adventures. Let me make sure I spell it right. There you go. Boom. Next channel shout out. Woohoo. But herbs. Yes. So indoors and outdoors, there's a difference. Obviously, you could plant herbs indoors year round. Herbs outside, and you know, even with the perennials, you want to, if you're first starting the perennial, unless you're doing it like propagated from something else, you're gonna want to, if you're starting it from seed, really do start it after the first frost of the year. Rob, the sapper gardener, was just talking about that in one of his last videos about when to plant. And even if it's a perennial, if you're the first time you're starting it, start it in the summer or late in the spring, when you know it's not going to suddenly freeze, when it has its best chance to get started, because even if you know it can regrow, that initial start, it's just not going to start properly unless you actually start it just a little bit after that time where it's gonna get enough light, because that's one of the biggest things about herbs. Most of them love lots of light. You know, some of them more indirect light than not. But generally most of them like a lot of sun or part shade, but one way or another having some contact with the sun. You know what I mean? For like 8 hours up to 12 hours really. And that's why you could like put them under an indoor lamp for like, say, 12 hours a day and have great grow results. The other thing, of course, is the type of soil that you're using with herbs, because a lot of herbs tend to prefer a bit of a loamier, sandier soil. A lot of times, a lot of times it's a rich soil, but a lot of them can, pretty much every one of them, it definitely has to be well drained. So if you're doing them in any kind of pot, they gotta have good drainage to them. First and foremost, have a good drainage pot if you're having them in pots. If they're outside, obviously, if you're just planting them straight in the ground, that isn't quite the same thing, but you just want to make sure the soil is light enough for them, because most herbs don't grow like in some of that heavier soil you might use for things like vegetables and fruits. You definitely don't want that. You're definitely going to want a lighter soil that's definitely tolerant of the different conditions or wet conditions. Some of them like the pH level to be slightly different depending on which one it is. So just look it up as to which ones you're wanting to plant. Like Marjoram tends to lean a little bit towards the alkaline, whereas dill actually says it wants just slightly acidic soil. So you'll just need to, that said, you can grow them at both in just a generally neutral soil. It just says that if you want them really to do good, you want to lean those soils slightly towards their pH. And yeah, don't think it's just a broad spectrum. Neutral can obviously is to a slightly alkaline tends to be more often than not the sweet spot for a lot of our herbs. A lot of the major ones, sage, rosemary, tend to be neutral to alkaline. Tarragon, same way. Even think basil and coriander tend to lead that way, I think, as well. But the big thing is they love, most of them, especially when you get to things like thyme and rosemary and sage. A lot of the ones that originated around the Mediterranean area, they love that kind of sandier, grittier Mediterranean type soil. So that means anything that either has some sand or some other things mixed in that keeps it a little bit lighter. And even though it may still be nice and nutrient rich, you don't want it to be just too thick and heavy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you go. Some good herb tips for when you're going to get growing your herbs this year. Grow those herbs, baby. Lots of big herbs. Yeah. I want to see some good herb results from you people this year. Everybody's growing herbs. I'm going to grow a ton of herbs. I'm going to fill up this windowsill back here again, I'm sure. And I'll fill up the windowsills downstairs. In fact, I've got a basil downstairs that I need to finish off and use in some food because it is still doing good, but it's definitely is getting older, and I need to use it or lose it, like I said earlier in the show. Use it or lose it. While I love looking at my herbs and just being happy, yay, it grew, and that's partly satisfying, yes. To get the benefits of them, you got to use it. You got to use it. And it's also the funniest thing when I think about it is because when it comes down to it, cutting them back is always better for them. Pretty much every herb, it's like, you don't want to cut too far back, obviously, but if you're cutting like a third each time, it's much better for the herbs to actually keep cutting them back, And I always tend to just be like, no, I'm too precious about it. All right, let's go to our next channel here. Next shout out goes to Dan Permaculture Food Forest. I love Dan. He is down there in Florida, and he generally does lots of these amazing fruits that I would never even think of doing here. He does some ones that I had you barely even hear of from other people sometimes. I'm trying to find one of them. He does dragon fruit, which is great. Jackfruit, awesome, especially if you're a vegetarian. Did one on pomegranate recently. He's did all kinds of different things. Let me actually go to his video list here. This is just his popular uploads and things. Here we go. Here's his full list. Because there's some other ones he had done recently that I watched and I was like going, whoa, miracle fruit, an amazing berry. He'd actually talked about how to grow cilantro in one video too. I gotta go back and catch that. Yeah. Did cranberry hibiscus, which is a different type of hibiscus I hadn't heard much about before. He does black turmeric, very cool. Yeah, he does ginger and turmeric, both of which I've got a bunch of videos on I love to death. Well, excuse me. But yeah, he does tons and tons. Pretty much seems to the same kind of thing where he just talks about his garden, food forest, and all of the fruits and herbs and different vegetables he's growing. And yeah, he does all different things. He's got a huge area. It's amazing the things he grows. So if you haven't been in touch with Dan yet, Dan Permaculture Food Forest, definitely go check him out. He is awesome. Yeah, there you go. There's Dan. Woohoo! So let's put his link in here for you. Boom. There you go. Dan. Moving down the line. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but I got some music in the background just to keep me up and happy. Let me get another one up here. So a lot of these ones are like the bigger channels that have shown me lots of support, and since this is my first Shoutout for a long time. I'm going back to all these guys, not necessarily big in size, but they're ones who are big supporters of me, and so I'm just returning the love and giving them some big support right now as well. So I'm definitely will, as I keep doing these, I will do some more ones on some channels that are a bit smaller to help grow some people. But for today, it's all the channels that have given me love, and I'm giving them love back. This is not all the channels that have given me love, because there's ones that have been on here today, like Husky and Wolf Dog, who's awesome and has a channel, but I'm not directly promoting them today, except for I just did. Haha. Love the Husky and Wolf Dog. But my next channel, right there, and Ernie Hatmaker is the next channel. She's very cool, very funny lady. Been catching lots of her stuff lately. But Ernie does shoutouts of her own every Sunday. She does all these mail calls because she's been... I don't know how she's so involved with getting mail calls, but she's like, look at like most of her videos recently have been mail calls. She has like got a major pen pal kind of business going on here with seeds and other things. But she also does other little videos on indoor planting and winter sowing and her wild animal food plot. So she sneaks in other things as well, but lately it's been like mail. Woo! Lots of mail stuff. And then of course her Sunday shoutouts. So generally posts once or twice a week. And it's Ernie Hatmaker. Awesome lady. Go check her out. Oh yeah. Ernie. We love ya. Woohoo! Alright. How is... Any new comments? It was good to have Love Surf Bunny here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Yes, thank you for the healthy wishes. I definitely hope to be fully back soon. My wife is doing fine. She's doing great. For some reason, it's just lingered on with me. I don't know why. There it is. But, yeah. There you go. Let's move on. As the herd is thinning. We're losing some people here. It's getting too late. I got one more channel here I want to shout out. For the moment, at least. So let's get him on here. I haven't seen him around much lately. But I know he's still out there. He's just busy getting ready for the season 2. It's the Little Farmer's Farm, aka Guru Muffinda. Yes, Guru Muffinda, Little Farmer's Farm. He just talks about his plot and all the things he's growing in his greenhouse and other areas. But he's been doing lots of rebuilding lately. If you look at his latest video on the Get Growing, he's going to talk about all the things he's been fixing up. And he has an amazing setup, the things that he has. And he really knows his stuff about, putting together his soil and putting together these little huts, what I forgot they're called. And it has his greenhouse is amazing. He's a very good grower. So if you really want some good advice, go check out Guru Muffinda. He'll hook you up. That's the Little Farmer's Farm. Give them a look-see. Or give him a look-see. Ha! Right on. Little Farmer's Farm. Love ya. I can't go on much longer, as, yes, I'm still not feeling great, so... But thanks everybody who has dropped by today. I am definitely going to release my next video by next Tuesday. My final one on pumpkins for a little while. Then I've got a couple of tea videos, tea benefits videos coming out. Along with my live streams, of course, where I'll be talking about different things like I did today. Little growing tips for herbs, for getting them started in the season, or just talking about perennial herbs. But, yeah. Should you start planting your herbs now? Which was my question from the video. The answer is, if it's indoors, yeah, you can. Excuse me. If it's outside, probably not yet, because there's probably still frosts coming. I tried planting some around this time last year and is like, no, not happening. It's fun to experiment sometimes, but generally, unless you're waiting for those cold times to stop, it's just not going to happen. So, there you go. If you haven't seen it yet, please check out my latest videos all about the history of pumpkins, the mythology of pumpkins. If you haven't gone back and checked it out yet, check out my cool video on Stingy Jack and basically history between Halloween and pumpkins. I really enjoyed making that video. If you haven't seen it, please do check it out. I thought it was awesome myself. Let me know if you think it's awesome too. It's one of my personally favorite videos. So hopefully you like it too. Now, yeah, unless you guys have anything else you want to ask about, I'm gonna get heading down the road. I'll give you another second, but leave any comments. Otherwise, my water is empty, which means I have to go get more. The water has been drained. The Eric is grumbly. So, thank you all for being here. Thanks so much. Lots of love. If you can afford to, hey, drop me a super sticker or a super chat. I would love you for it. If you can't do it right now, do it later. Otherwise, if you want to give me some more support and more love, then go watch the videos, just like I was saying. That's what really matters to keep that support, is share the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos, watch the videos. Whatever, all of it. I love you for it. Thank you so much. Until next time, you guys have a great week, or a great couple weeks until I see you on the next live on Thursday. Not this week, not next week, but the following week. We'll see you for the next live, guys. Take care, everybody. Love ya.